Jermaine, make a review video talking about your Ariel Rider X Class. Okay, well here's that video. What up YouTube, it's your boy Jermaine, back on another video. So today I'm gonna do a review video for the X Class. Now if you guys already know, I've had this bike for about a month, and just from some of my videos I think you guys already know how I feel about this bike. It's amazing, it's a lot of fun. But let's just talk about it for a minute, because there's a lot to talk about. Well, first off, we can start by talking about it's powerful. Yes, this is not a 750, this is not a 500 watt, this is 1,000 watt bike. And let me tell you guys, this is the fastest bike I've ridden. It's the fastest bike I've ridden. I just rode up 17th Street. I just went for a ride around the city, and anyone that lives in San Francisco knows that 17th Street is one of the biggest hills in the city. And I just rode up 17th Street with no problems at all. No problems at all on the Ariel Rider. Just rode up 17th Street. I did not pedal because I kind of wanted to see if the bike could get up the hill without pedaling. And like I said, I did no pedaling. I think it got down to maybe 10 miles per hour at like maybe the part of the hill that was the steepest. It got down to maybe like 10 miles an hour. Now, to compare and contrast, if I was on my like rad power bike, and if I was trying to get up the same hill not pedaling, I would just have to get off the bike, basically. If I was on pretty much all of my other bikes, there's no way I could have got up 17th Street without pedaling. Now, of course, I could have got up pedaling, but that wasn't the test I was trying to do. I was trying to see, can this bike get up a hill without pedaling? And if it can get up 17th Street, it can pretty much get up any hills in the city for the most part. So let's go over and talk about let's just talk about the gears. For the most part, I haven't used the gears that much. There's been a couple days where I have tried to see how many miles I can get out of the bike, so I would just pedal majority of the day. And one day I got up to about 50 miles pedaling, and that was one of the few days I've really pedaled on this bike. I mainly just use throttle only, which is pretty awesome. We got some lights, so we got a light on the back here, and of course we got a light on the front here. Big large light on the front. We got large wheels. These are the same size wheels that are on a lot of fat tire bikes. I think these are 20 by 4.0s, so it's pretty standard. It's very comfortable to ride because it has, of course, it has shocks in the back, then it also has shocks in the front. So it makes it like pretty comfortable to ride, especially in the city, with all the like potholes and the manholes downtown, and it just makes it very, very, very comfortable. I have a couple bikes that don't have shocks, and let me tell you guys, when you start to ride a bike with shocks, it's really hard to go back to a bike that don't have shocks. Now I use a lot of bikes for deliveries, and I'll do things like Uber Eats and stuff like that. One thing this bike is good for, some of the big hills in the city, like there's a neighborhood called Nob Hill. I never take deliveries going there, right? Russian Hill, I never take deliveries going there. I never go to these areas because they're really, really big hills. And with this bike, it's like I can sort of take other orders that I wouldn't normally take. Now, however, it's not, sometimes it may not be so practical because, like it's, it may be like a large order, and, now I got to go up a big hill, and I usually don't go up big hills, but then I've taken a couple orders like up hills, and I've noticed I like spilled some of the items. I don't know if I was going too fast on the bike or I'm just not used to going up the big hills. You can also get a rack on the back. I would rather not have a rack on the back. I've rode a bunch of bikes with racks on the front, so I'm just more used to a rack on the front. I mean, you could definitely put one on the back. They have racks for sale on their website, but just me personally, I would just rather just have a basket on the front. You can't put a basket on the front of this bike. I mean, maybe you could, but they don't. You would have to probably customize it yourself. Now let's talk about the speed here. Let's talk about the speed, because I know people, that's one thing that people always care about. How fast can you go? How long does it take to charge? So the speed, guys, you can go pretty fast on this one. So I topped out at like 32 miles an hour on the way here, and this is why I wear a helmet. Yeah, you can go pretty fast. Usually I don't go that fast on this bike. I want to say I'm around like the 25 mile an hour mark. It takes a minute to get up to 32 miles an hour. You kind of have to like be on a straight path. Like it doesn't accelerate like a Tesla, but however, it does accelerate faster than all of the other bikes that I've owned, and it accelerates faster than any other bike I've ever ridden. So that's pretty awesome. That's one thing I like about it. The seat is really, really comfortable too, and really big. So the speed now, back to the speed, because we can talk about the speed and the battery together. So with the speed, one thing I've noticed is when you're at a light and you are just using the throttle, it uses a lot of juice because the takeoff is really fast. So if you want to save like a lot of battery, if you just like, you know, pedal, if you pedal it from a dead stop, now this is on any bike, if you pedal from a dead stop, like you'll save a boatload of battery. But on this bike, I've noticed that like, yeah, you would save even more battery, especially if you're not like going fast. And this is also 52 volt. So I know people ask about the battery amperage and all that. Over here, we have a USB port here. You can, you know, charge your device, charge your GoPro, charge your, maybe you can charge headphones or something. And for the most part, I mean, this is the bike. It's pretty simple. It's easy to ride. I would recommend, if you do ride, I would totally recommend that you wear knee pads. Every time I ride, I wear knee pads, because I'm going to show you. When you get on the bike, you know, the sit on the bike is like this. It's a comfortable sit, right? But when you get on the bike, it's very, very easy to get your knee close to here. Now, it doesn't look like my knee is this close, right? But it's really easy to hit this, right? And I'm going to show you guys. This is really sharp. Like, that'll bang your knee up. I hit my knee on this like once, and wasn't a big fan of it. You know, it wasn't the most comfortable thing. So I always wear knee pads whenever I cycle on this bike, just in case. I won't bump the knees or anything. And once again, it's a fast, powerful bike. Now, who is this bike really? Who's like the perfect candidate for this bike? I can see some delivery people getting a bike like this, but for the most part, I would have to say for deliveries, it's not too practical for deliveries. Unless you are going like really, really long distances. If you're going like short distances, if you're going 1 to 2 miles, and it really depends on what you're delivering. If you're delivering letters, that might work. But if you're delivering, you know, Uber Eats and like food and stuff like that, it might not work. So it might not be so ideal. Now, if you're the type of person that you are a commuter, you know, you ride your bike from home to work, hey, this might be a really, really good bike for you. If you are the type of person, you live up a really big hill, and maybe you already have another e-bike and it's like a 700 watt e-bike, well, this one, you won't have to pedal going up that hill, you know. Maybe you have to pedal with your 750 to get up the hill, but this bike, no, you won't have to pedal at all. If you are a delivery person, like, I mean, once again, you totally could use this, because, you know, most delivery people, they ride their bikes for deliveries, but then they also ride their bikes, you know, to do other things too. So yeah, it's a cool bike. I mean, it weighs about 85 pounds. Yeah, it weighs about 85 pounds. So if you live on the second floor in like a building, or the third floor in a building, it may not be the most practical bike because it's heavy. You know, you might, you know, have to carry it upstairs and stuff like that. But for the most part, I love it. It's pretty much been my daily driver for about a month. It's been my daily driver. Yeah, here it is. Ariel Rider. And another random thing about this bike that's really cool, I was gonna leave this out, but let's just go ahead and show you guys. So I don't know if they purposely designed the bike this way, but like I can perfectly fit like a lock right here, and I can sort of like ride, and like I can like have the lock like here, you know, and it doesn't really move around. And sometimes it gets wedged right there. It gets wedged like this when I'm riding, if I'm like riding crazy and it hits, I'm hitting a lot of bumps and stuff like that. But yeah, it's pretty cool. This is one of the locks I'm using. I'll do a lock review video coming up soon. But anyway, guys, I thought I would make a video talking about the Ariel Rider, the X-Class. It's definitely a really fun bike to ride. If you guys want to check one of these out, I'll have a link in the description below. But it's a really cool bike. Awesome bike for the city. Great bike for getting up some of the hills. But anyway, guys, stay tuned for more videos. I'll definitely do a compare and contrast with the Ariel Rider versus the Himiway and versus a couple of other bikes. But anyway, guys, thanks a lot for watching. I just wanted to talk about the Ariel Rider for a minute. And yeah, like, comment, subscribe. Thanks a lot for watching. Peace out, yo.